Today we're going to be showing you this great boat from Colvic. It's a 39 Sunquest, and this was built in 1996, just before the Recreational Craft Directive came out in 1998, back in the day when if you had a new boat you had to get it surveyed yourself to confirm the build quality. And I just want to quote you from the original surveyor back in 1996 on his covering letter, and I quote: "I must congratulate you upon the excellency of the workmanship which was found on my examination." Might say it all, but let me show you around the features of this Colvic today and you can judge for yourself. This boat is called a 39 Sunquest, but like a lot of boats, it actually has an extending platform on the back which adds about another 18 inches to the length. So the 39 and the 18 inches added together ends up between 40 and 41 feet, and it gives you a more realistic size of the boat, so it does go a touch over 40 feet. What I really like about this is the walk-on. So the walk-on makes it nice and easy having this extended platform, and it gives you much more depth, and it's nicely teaked on the back. The other thing I just want to show you quickly is this door. Now, a lot of boats of this era, if you think of some of the early Fairlines and some of the early Princesses, you had to climb up and over to get aboard, or climb up and over on the side to get aboard. And it wasn't until later that they put a gate on the back, but the gate was always open. You know, it's very easy for a lot of water that came from the stern, if you got a rush of water up the back, to come in and swamp the boat. But this is a very hefty opening door, which will protect you very much from the sea, and I like this. It's very solid and it's a good representation of the quality of the boat that we're going to show you today. The rear cockpit area, really generous. It's almost full width of the boat, and it's got two large seating areas out the back here, and very comfortable to sit on. And we can also have a table and chairs out here if you want to. Love it, it's a lovely area. The other thing I just want to show you quickly is this. Look, this is the French doors on the back, but also we can open it from this side as well, as if we wish. So we can have two openings depending on what we want to do. And I think it's a really nice feature because you don't always get that on a lot of boats. And the other thing is the large lazarette area, which we'll just show you in a sec. So the rear lazarette, it's actually a large area. It looks a lot larger. It actually is a lot larger than it looks, should I say. And the current owner actually keeps a lot of seating down here. She keeps all the covers down here. She keeps a lot of the safety equipment down here. But also there's still enough room for a generator, for the batteries. And the other thing I'd like to point out is that all the seacocks have in the last couple of years been changed for new. And all the beds have been replaced that the seacocks are mounted on as well. And it's another thing that with an older boat is something you'd be concerned about, but you don't need to worry on this one. The generator as well is only about 6 years old. So again, it's an upgrade that the boat has had over the years, and this boat has had quite a few. And look at the size of these side decks, really easy access, even both sides, and very high rails, so there's not much chance of falling in. I love this about this boat, and also up the front again there's lots of room for lounging. There's a lot of space here, and we can get two lounge pads, at least probably 3 or 4 people could go side by side along here, and very generous space indeed. Right, well, this is the Flybridge, and of course not forgetting this, as it's in a great sociable space. So in the sunshine, this will be where you'll be spending most of your time, and it's very generous space. The helm has 3 seats, all of which can spin around, and we can position them where we want to go. I really like this feature. There's quite a lot of helm seating on Flybridges that you can't spin around, they're not fixed, and it's really a waste of that usage of seating, because most of the time you'll actually be sat up here rather than driving. So this is a really good use of space. You'll also see that another upgrade this boat has had over the years, because originally in '96 the navigation equipment now would be quite archaic, but it has recently been updated with an E80 Ray Marine. Now, this is about 10 years, but it's still a good update it has, and the radar was updated as well, so it now works off this helm, and then there's a second helm down below with an equal or slightly larger size Raymarine plotter as well, and I really like that feature. Now I'm just going to show you the back part of the Flybridge as well. This is the rear part of the Flybridge, and as you can see, it's actually a nice generous array of seating. A lot of Flybridges of this size, again, you'll find that this will be a sun pad, and you won't be able to sit around here, and because of that you've actually got a good use of space up here and a proper radar arch. Some of the Sunquest did come with a stainless steel arch, but this is actually a proper fiberglass one made of a good strong construction. And I really like the fact that you can have 3 people sat along the helm there, and we can have it 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 at a push up on the back here, so that's 5, 6, 7, 8 people all together. Okay, so the features this boat has got from the helm point of view is if we've got obviously 2 gauge clusters for each engine, so we've got 2 engines. This actually has 2 250 horsepower Thornycroft engines, and now these are actually commercial engines, and this was built with longevity in mind, and these engines are known as one of the most bulletproof engines out there. They're low revving, high torque engines, and are really strong and clean. And in fact, back in 2005, the current owner actually decided to take the engines out, to clean them up, and then have them refitted. So it's a really good, and you can really see that in the engine room, they're nice and clean still. What else we've got here is there's a searchlight, a bilge water alarm, so I'll actually warn you if the bilges have water in, and we also have a trim tab option, and also a bow thruster and a VHF radio. So yes, this does have a bow thruster, if that was going to be one of your questions. Right, here we are in the main saloon to the Sunquest, and again, very generous on space. And we have an L-shaped seating area here, and there's another bench seat just the other side there, which is fixed. There's loads of storage in here as well. There's lots of cabinetry storage. There's also storage under the seating as well. And what I really like about here, it's nice and bright in here. We've got lots of windows on both sides, the windscreen and the side windows bringing in lots of light into this area, and it's a very, very pleasant place to be. The other side of the saloon, we can see the bench seat a bit clearer now, and also we can see the cabinetry finish. And I quite like this. It's very nice workmanship that has been made into this. Solid wood edged, and a very nice finish to it. And I like this shade of varnish. It lifts the boat. And also, I'd like to say again, I'm 6 foot tall, and headroom in here is ample. There is lots of space in here. And as we walk down into the galley area, again, you can get an idea of the amount of space in this boat. It's tremendous. Here we are in the galley, and as you can see, again, there's plentiful amounts of worktop, a twin sink. We also have a halogen hob, as well as a microwave and a fridge, and lots of storage. Everything I think we'd want in a galley. Here we are in the owner's cabin, and as we can see, again, very generous on space, and this is the natural light coming in. We've got 2 large windows either side, and we've got a large roof hatch as well. I really like the space in here, and don't forget this has a head in here with shower, and also this boat has a second head as well, which we'll show you in a bit. This also benefits as well, as it has diesel heating throughout, but also the owner has added in addition in each cabin electric powered fitted radiators, which are actually a nice feature to this boat. Here's the radiator, and it's actually, each one has a digital display on the top, and you can control the timer on it, so we can have it on and off whatever days of the week we want, and whatever temperature we want it to be. So we can actually leave this to its own devices, and it will keep your cabin toasty for when you need it. Also in here, as you can see, we've got a TV position as well. So we've got a TV mounting here with aerial fitment and power behind. So we can have, all in all, it's a very nice space to be. Here we are in the owner's cabin head. And as you can see, it's very generous on space. We've got a very nicely finished sink, and I'm sat on the toilet again, and it has a manual toilet. And I don't know if you've seen a previous video that I've done on a Bavaria motorboat. I did go on about it a lot because I like it, and I'm quite pleased to see it's got a manual toilet. And this has 2 heads and both are manual. What I also like about these heads is that it has a separate shower. But what I mean by separate is that it's separate operation, so it's got its own tap on the side of the sink and its own shower head here. You don't have to pull it out of the sink like a lot of boats. It's actually separate. And we do have a rail that goes all the way around the top of the shower cubicle, so we can put a screen on there so we can protect the sink and the toilet from getting wet. And again, that's a good feature because you don't always get that on a lot of boats. A lot of boats with showers, everything gets wet if you have a shower, but this one you can enclose yourself in. This is the second head on the Sunquest, and it's very much the same size as the owner's cabin head, and very much the same finish. The sink to me looks the same, if not completely the other way around, and we still have a shower fitment as well, which is separate, as well as a rail all the way around the ceiling. It very much has the same feel of size. So to me, they are very equal in size, and again, finished quite nicely. I would like to say as well that, as I said earlier, we have diesel heating fitted this boat, and even the heads have their own heater outlets as well. And there's one here and one in the other head, of course. Here we are in the second cabin for the Sunquest, and as we can see, it's a twin, but a very comfortable twin. I'm 6 foot tall and I have plenty of room, and as you can see on the end of the bed here, there's a nice radiator, very similar to the one in the main cabin, and again we can set this to come on and off when we wish. Again, it's a very generous space, and I really like it in here. We've got lots of cupboards, so we've got a low cupboard here, a drawer, another cupboard here, and just out of sight there is a full height wardrobe. Again, very unusual to find in a lot of boats, especially in the aft cabin, but it's a full height wardrobe. And also we've got a huge mirror on the wall, and there's a little feature that I quite like, is a mirror that we can pull out and do our makeup in. We're just showing you another view of the galley area, and it gives you a bit of an idea of the amount of space in here again. It is actually very generous. We can also show you that here's the fridge, so we've got a full-size fridge here, and also there's a plug-ins for various things like kettles, and we've got a smoothie maker here. But there's lots of other little cubby holes for storage, as well as we've got cupboard storage as well, which is very deep. Now let me show you. I can get my arm just about to reach the end. So it's actually an arm length deep, these cubby holes, and very unusual again to have such big cupboards. I really like the space in here. Here we are at the helm. There's a couple of things I'd like to show you on here which I quite like, and one of them is actually you get a lovely diagram of the side of your boat, and there's little lights, LEDs on here which light up depending on what you've got on. And I really like this feature. So if you've got our nav lights on, it'll tell us up here, the little light will come on, and bilge fans, engine room light, water pump, and so forth. Really nice features, and I really like that about it. I really like this diagram. It looks really cool. Also, as well, I'd just like to show you that it's a twin helm position, which is nice, and so it's nice and sociable up here. There's plenty of room, but there's also, surprisingly, plenty of visibility. And when you're looking at driving from downstairs, it's all about visibility. And the few things that you need to be able to confidently drive a boat from down below, especially on a Flybridge, is actually being able to see the bow, which we can clearly see. The other thing is actually being able to see on the side how far we are from either the boat next to us or the pontoon. And because of this side window opened, we can actually peer out and actually see how close we are to the boat or the pontoon. I really like that. And the third thing is actually when we're reversing into a space is actually being to know where the back of the boat is. And thanks to the gate in the centre of the cockpit, I can actually see all the way to the back of the bathing platform. So I know exactly when I'm up to the pontoon. And these three things all in one means that driving and visibility down here is great even when you're mooring up. This is the main control panel for the Sunquest, and it's actually right by the helm seat, so very easy to get to from the captain. And all the switches are trip switches, so they're not fuses. So if anything short circuits, it will just trip it across. And if it won't reset, we need to investigate why. But I really like the array of switches, and this is for everything. And we have a 240 volt side for AC volts and a 12 volt side for the DC volts. Really good array of switches, and I like the fact they're all trips and easy to get to. A lot of boats you've got to try and find them, unlock cupboards to get at them, and really if it's a matter of just quickly resetting, for example one for your wipers, then it's very easy just to lean down and do it rather than have to leave the helm to go and do it. So very handy, and they have a nice little perspex cover doors that go over them. I like that feature. So here we are at the helm, and what I want to show you is actually the engine starts. So we've got two 250 horsepower Thornycross, which I said earlier, and they're turbocharged diesel engines, and they're low revving, so they'll rev up to about 2,200 to 2,300 revs. And we're just going to fire them up for you so you can hear what they sound like. Sorry about the beeping. And actually, the engines, both engines are under the floor, and this is them running now at 1,500 revs, 2,000 revs, but listen how quiet it is in here still. I can still talk to you normally and you can still hear me, and it shows how good the soundproofing is down here. And I really like this. It's got very good soundproofing to the engine room, so even when you're driving down here you can still talk to the person next to you, the person in the saloon, the person in the galley, and even the person trying to get 40 winks up the front, and they can hear you. These Thornycroft engines have currently done 1,202 hours, and for a 96 boat that's very reasonable indeed. Again, these are commercial engines. They're designed to do thousands and thousands of hours, and this is the port engine. It's done 1,202 hours, and the starboard engine has done 1,135 hours. So the hours they've done is very low indeed for the year. Here are the engines, and this is a Thornycroft engine, like I said before, 250 horsepower, and they are very clean for any age of boat, not just for a boat of a 1996 era. I'm very impressed with the engineering that has gone into putting this boat together. And in fact, it's not just the engines, it's the whole hull. When this was originally built, there was actually a request for the hull to be strengthened with extra stringers for rigidity of the hull, and there actually Kevlar was woven into the fiberglass as well to add extra strength to the stringers. And in fact, this hull has a design speed of 60 knots, which is tremendous for this type of hull. And because this boat currently with these engines will do around 21 knots, the hull has never been stressed on this whatsoever. And I'm really impressed with the build of this boat. And the engines as well have been kept very well, regularly serviced, and that's proven by the reliability, but also the quality of the engines in the first place was very high. I don't know if you can hear, but there's a pinging and a whizzing going on, and that is actually another addition to this boat, and it's a sonic anti-fouling system. and it was fitted about 10 years ago. And what it does, it sonically somehow helps reduce the amount of fouling throughout the hull. It creates a bubble around the boat and helps reduce fouling. You can just about hear it popping and whizzing away. And again, it just shows it's another good addition and upgrade that's been done to this boat over the years. Another one, whilst we're here, is actually the shaft seals. Not only has all the seacocks been replaced in recent times, but the shaft seals have been upgraded to Tides Marine shaft seals, and they're shore seal seals in there. And they're actually lip seals, dripless seals, and because of that, the hull is bone dry. There's no water in there. There's no damp in here. It's actually bone dry throughout, and a really good other upgrade. Well, that's the Sunquest 39 Flybridge. I hope you enjoyed the walk around. One thing left to do, and it's shut up the boat. Now this boat does have drop down covers, and I don't know if you noticed, but they roll up neatly up here, and I've shown you part of it is down here, and they're actually insulated covers, and they're very easy to drop down. The Flybridge also comes with a full Flybridge cover that goes over the radar arch and over the full front of the boat. But don't worry, you don't have to put that on every time, because it also comes with a helm cover, and we can remove the seat covers upstairs, and it actually can be left to get wet. So for the short period and the summer periods, we can leave the large covers off, and we can just use the small covers for the helm station. But what I want to show you now is how quick it is just to really drop these covers down and tie them up. So once this is done, it actually leaves a very private area inside. No one can peer in. It's insulated from the sun as well and UV rays. And now it's all locked up. Look at this space. With the covers down, you'd think it would be pitch black in here, but with all the brightness of the inside saloon, it's actually a lovely area here. And look how private it is with the covers down. It's a fantastic place to now socialise without being pestered by people we don't like. You know, the guy a few boats down that likes to chat when he goes past. And we can avoid all that by dropping the covers down. Very private area. And the other thing that we found while we're looking around the boat is there's actually a lovely blind that covers completely the patio doors. So if we're inside as well and we want to private the area with the covers up, we can still do that. And each set of side windows and helm windows actually have curtains to cover them up as well. So this is actually can be a very private boat indeed, and we really like this. And I don't think I've seen many boats with a blind across the patio doors, and it actually hides itself completely away. We really like that. So here we go, here we are again, the 39 Sunquest. Very underrated boat in my opinion, but I think we've shown you today the features it has to offer, the upgrades it has to offer. It's a very attractive boat for the price. Okay, and that was the Colvic Sunquest 39. And I hope you enjoyed it. And this boat is currently for sale with us at parker-adams.co.uk, where you can see all the other boats we also have listed. The other thing that we also have is a drone video of this boat. So again, if you follow the link below to our website, you can view the drone video we have done on this boat, and it looks fantastic on the water. If you think it looks good now, it looks fantastic out on the water. So please go to there and tell us what you think.